You're listening to a Mamamia podcast.
Mamamia acknowledges the traditional owners of land and waters that this podcast is recorded on. Hello and welcome to Cancelled, the Lazy Girl's Guide to Bizarre Celebrity Cancellations. I'm Jessie Stevens.
And I'm Claire Stevens.
Happy 2025. We hope you are enjoying this summer if you're in Australia. It's usually the time we all relax, but for some reason...
Because we don't relax very often here.
Okay.
The lazy girls are never getting a holiday.
Well, no, we're being the opposite of lazy this time of year, okay? Because what we're going to do is we're going to give our listeners something we're calling Mamamia's Hot Pod Summer.
Well, thank you, Roosevelt. What's the weather like out there? It's hot. Damn hot. Real hot. Hot in this is my shorts. I can cook things in it. Little crotch pot cooking.
We're giving you our favourite moments from Cancelled this year, including our episode on Bennifer, the relationship that was made up of too much content, Jojo Siwa, who really pissed off the internet, and Emily Blunt and those divorce rumours with John Krasinski. And on top of that, all podcasts at Mamamia have brand new episodes dropping about the topics we couldn't stop talking about this year, all curated especially for you.
Today, we need to talk about Seventh Heaven. If you don't know what that is, then you're 5 years old and you shouldn't be listening, because we say the F word sometimes and your mum will get you in trouble. We're recancelling the TV show Seventh Heaven, aka the Bible rewritten for Fox 8. So whether you sat through random marathons on Saturdays or have never watched an episode, we are here to prove to you how truly cooked this show was, and of course, assign charges and sentences. We asked some very important questions like, should a teenager go to jail over stealing a single drinking glass?
Should siblings hook up?
Yes or no?
That comes up weirdly often.
It does, along with many other insane storylines from this show. Enjoy. Craziest storylines. Jessie, you've already mentioned this. When Mary wants kissing lessons, so practices on her brother Matt. The interesting thing about this is that it was the first episode of the whole show.
Bold.
And I think this
You know how you're in a, you and I have done a writer's room recently, and we've talked about this with writing, where you're like, is this a thing, right? Like you're kind of in a room, you're spitballing and you're like, yeah, you know, when you had one recently about tampons and where you put them and blah, blah, blah. And you go, you know, when you do this. And everyone's like, yeah. You just know in the writer's room, everyone's like, you know, when you just start hooking up with your brother because you want to get practice.
And someone was like, ooh,
That's illegal.
that's not the vibe. So Matt and Mary are in the backyard. And Mary
Always
asks,
I know it was episode 1, but there was sexual chemistry.
Mary asks Matt,
So, do I touch his face with my hands?
No, look, if anybody touches face, he touches your face.
Okay.
Or maybe he doesn't look. I don't know. Do we have to do this?
Yes, so just stand still. Okay, so I close my eyes.
then Mary's like, okay, so I close my eyes, and she kind of purses her lips and leans in to kiss him. Meanwhile, Reverend Eric has just walked out to put the rubbish out, and he makes eye contact with Matt.
Oh, Dad, this isn't what it looks like.
That's a relief.
And then there's like sitcom music and the scene is over. But that's not the only instance of sexual tension.
This is one of those things that you watch and you go, I don't want to be a parent. I don't want to.
Don't want to deal
I
with
don't want
that.
to deal with that. I don't want to walk inside and be like, how do I?
Come on now.
Now I've just got this thing on my list. Deal with my kids hooking up. That wasn't in the fucking brochure.
That wasn't the only instance of sexual tension between the siblings. Later on in the series, both Mary and Lucy want to go to prom with Matt. And it's just really odd. It's really
It's
weird.
your brother.
And I think it's honestly like, yeah, he's hot. He's your brother. And then when Lucy goes into labour, Matt is there. And he's a doctor.
Oh, okay.
But Lucy's...
Generalist or OB or?
I think he's like still training at this point.
All right.
But Lucy's husband, Kevin, is like, don't look at her.
You better not be looking at my wife.
Kevin, I'm a doctor.
You're her brother.
But I'm a doctor.
I hope that doesn't mean what I think it means.
I'm like, what does it mean? Do you not want anyone to look at her vagina while she's giving birth? Is that it?
Because someone has to.
Is it weird if it's her brother? Yes,
Yes.
but stranger things have happened
I know.
in the show.
I've spoken to people who are doctors
Mm.
who deliver babies,
Mm.
and I have asked a question to them and their sibling, and I've said, "Would you want to deliver her baby or whatever?" And often they say, "No, I wouldn't want to. I wouldn't. Too
wow.
close. Too close."
Mm.
So again, it is Matt being a creep.
It is. He's like, "No, show me your vag." Come on.
Salivating.
Come on. Matt. Jesse, when Matt doesn't steal a glass and ends up in court,
Okay.
Mary goes to a diner and
Okay.
she steals a glass. It's a water glass.
Do you remember when we were kids? The amount of glasses that were in our cupboard that didn't belong to us. I swear, every time we went to a bowling club or an RSL or anything,
They just somehow ended up
they
in our house.
accumulated. I was like, I'm sorry.
It's like mum was like packing her children into bags and just picked up like a fork, a plate.
Yeah. Yeah.
So she steals the glass to try to impress her basketball friends, which I don't think is cool. Obviously, Reverend Camden finds it
Yeah.
and is like, tut tut, who stole the glass?
It's so relatable in terms of adolescent issues.
And Matt takes the blame, which is odd, but I think he's like trying to flirt with Mary. And Eric is like, okay, we'll go back and tell them you stole it and return it. So Matt does. And the owner decides to press charge.
Apology unaccepted. That's right, unaccepted. I'm pressing charges.
Jesse, Matt goes to jail. He goes to jail for stealing a glass.
That's not how the law works.
And then he's at the trial.
Matt could go to school and open fire and he wouldn't go to jail. Like, this is America.
So then he goes to trial because if
no,
there's
you wouldn't go to trial.
if there's one thing courts take seriously,
It's stealing
It's
a glass.
teenagers.
Especially when you're a white Christian.
yeah.
That they took one look at Matt
They
and
go-
went, "You're trouble."
No. But then all these other students march in with other things they've stolen from diners.
Your Honor, they're all a bunch of little thieves. I'm pressing charges. I want them all in jail.
Okay.
And the sentiment is like, Judge, are you going to arrest all of
All of
us?
us.
And the judge is like, no. Absolutely
also
not.
not how the law works.
No.
It's not. I know that's how we think the law works, but if you are on trial for hitting someone like a hit and run and I walk in and go, "I did a hit and run," are you going to arrest both of us? Yes.
But you're separate.
You're separate, but thank you for handing yourself in.
So, yeah, basically the moral of the story is you will get arrested for stealing one times the water glass.
Which confirms a theory I have as of now that Seventh Heaven was like an updated Bible.
Oh my God, yes.
So there's like Old Testament, New Testament, Seventh Heaven.
Testament.
And Seventh Heaven, everything was like a parable or a
Thou
psalm.
shalt not steal a glass from
Yeah,
a diner.
yeah. And what happens, and like Reverend is God, and it comes in and it's basically like, how do we teach a new generation of Americans
The Bible.
sinning?
Well, there's a lot of parables.
Okay.
Next craziest storyline. Simon finds a homeless girl. Simon brings home a homeless girl
All right.
and literally yells,
Hey, look what I found. Can I keep her?
"Can I keep her?"
Can I keep her? Mm.
She has the worst makeup I've ever seen to try and make her look dirty. It's like a little bit of bronzer.
Yeah.
They clean her
Right.
up, and then Simon and Ruthie have a fight about who gets to own her.
Slaves are illegal.
It's like she's right here.
Okay.
Simon literally starts training her like a dog with treats. Then Reverend Camden, in a parallel storyline that,
You forgot to mention Happy.
oh yeah, sorry, Happy the dog played by
Happy the dog.
Happy the dog. That's what I always remember
Yeah,
from the
yeah.
storyline. We get to Happy. Happy often drives plot forward. Okay? Reverend Camden, somehow, he always joins the police force, but like incidentally. So all of a sudden he has access to missing persons files.
Okay.
And
Yeah,
he's at
yeah,
the
yeah.
police station.
Yeah.
Just in his spare time. And this man
He's a
walks
trusted
in.
member of the community,
Yeah.
like all reverends should be.
This man walks into the police station And you know straight away, well, that's the father of the homeless girl.
that your children are training to see it.
And you know that because their makeup is equally as terrible.
Okay, so it's like you also have dirt on your lip.
Yes.
Yeah.
It turns out he's not homeless, he's an alcoholic. So Eric goes home and tells Simon,
You got to give the homeless girl back.
well, no, he's like, this girl's name is Sarah. And suddenly she starts talking. She's been silent until now. And she just gives like a whole family background. It's like everything's been silent, so much mystery. And then she's like, my dad's an alcoholic because my mum died. Like, just gives years worth of a story.
You trust Eric.
Yeah. Luckily, Eric and Matt go to the alcoholic man's house. So he's not
Demonstrate?
homeless. He's not homeless.
Oh, sorry.
But his house is messy because he's an alcoholic.
Okay, which is why he's got dirt on his face.
So they go to his house to clean it
Oh, that'll do it.
as a lesson.
Okay.
And the lesson, I think, to Matt is if you drink alcohol, you'll have a messy house. I don't know. But they clean his house. And I think they're not allowed to keep the homeless girl.
They have to give her back.
Yep.
I worry about the family's finances because Annie, I mean, she's a tireless worker. We see her with laundry baskets.
She works harder than bloody Reverend Camden.
Oh, she works harder than them all put together. But she's not contributing to the bottom line of that household. She's not, because I don't think she's on benefits. But I can't see.
It's a sole income family.
It's a sole income family with 7 children.
And how much
they live
can
in a
you
mansion.
earn from giving one sermon a week?
How much? And putting your nose in other people's business. It's not paid. It's not paid.
And an important part of that is it is heavily implied that the church pays for their house.
Their house is too nice.
It's too, like, a church shouldn't.
Donate it to bloody Sarah and her dad.
Yeah. A church shouldn't be paying for your wholesome suburban life in California.
And your 45 pancakes you have for breakfast every day. Yeah, the Reverend was too rich. That always bothered me.
Jesse, when Matt takes a slut to prom. So Matt doesn't have a prom date. This is where Lucy and Mary are like, take me. Then a weird man comes to Reverend Camden and is like, can Matt take my daughter to prom?
I've got the perfect guy in mind to take Connie to the prom, but I need your help. I was wondering if your son Matt could possibly take Connie.
Well, I guess, I could ask.
Oh, this is great. Thanks.
Which is weird because everyone's always just in each other's business.
And it's all men being like, can we trade daughters? You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's exactly what it is. So he's like, yeah, my daughter Connie, can he take her? So he goes home and says, Matt, can you take this Connie chick to prom? And Matt's face is like, interesting.
Is she hot?
Well, we learn Connie's a slut.
How do we learn that?
From how she dresses.
Oh, she's got her tits out.
No,
She's curvy.
She has short hair. Yeah.
Wow.
Very edgy.
So what she is she's a bisexual.
Temptress.
She's a temptress. She's Anna from the OC.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So
it's
Matt
like you just don't
asks-
know which way she's going to go.
So Matt asks her, and she's like, I can't come. I don't have a dress. And Matt's like, that's fine. Mum will make you one.
Oh, yuck.
And the prom is
like
that.
a prairie dress.
The prom is that night. And so poor
Annie has 7 kids.
So poor Annie,
including surprise twins.
yeah, has to take down the curtains and make a dress for this girl she's never met. Okay. So
I just know that if that was our family, the resentment between mum and dad in that situation would be high.
You made them take this random slut to the prom. Anyway, at prom, Matt's like, no, I'm going to be a good Christian. So he's like, why are you a slut? Why are you a slut?
Slut conversion therapy.
And she's like, my mum died. And that's a lovely lesson. Sometimes women are sluts because of trauma. Okay?
And that's why Lucy, Mary, Ruthie, they're good girls because they've got the example of Annie in her laundry basket.
Exactly. There are many, many more crazy storylines, like when the family celebrated Lucy's first period and when one character joins a gang and another gets married after one day. To listen to that entire episode, just click the link in our show notes.
You can find videos from the podcast and evidence of the celebrity crimes on our Instagram at @thetwins_thoughts or on TikTok at Cancel the Podcast. Bye.
Bye.